We are taking this 5 to 12 volt DC fan from our biltong maker kit, which you can watch over here, and hacking an old USB charger or transformer power supply to power it. Now, you can use this hack for most old wall point plugs that you want to upcycle to power something, a cool project that you're doing, but we want to make biltong and we need to power this fan. Now, this is a really important disclaimer. Any plug point that doesn't have a black box on the end like this is one that you should avoid. And you should only use something like this where you can read the plug's information. You want to look for a transformer or a switch mode power supply that has the right DC output for the fan or the object that you want to power. The maximum that our fan can safely take here is 12 volts DC. So we're going to choose a plug between 5 and 12 volts DC. I'm going to use this broken Raspberry Pi power supply, which is missing its top connection, so I really don't feel bad about cutting it up. Taking your scissors, you're going to cut off the end to expose the copper wires on the inside. Obviously do this when it's unplugged. This cable is slightly different to a standard USB cable because it's a twin core wire, which basically means it's easier for us to see the two wires on the inside. As a side note, I'm just going to show you what a standard USB port plug cable looks like on the inside so that you can see the difference. Once you cut off the head, you can see the two wires inside. It's not as easy to separate the wires, so you'll need to use a craft knife to do this. Carefully cut through the outer black insulation and not the inner insulation of the two wires. Once they're exposed, you can cut the excess black insulation away. The difference between these two is that in our cable, it's not as easy to see which is the positive and which is the negative. It's easy to see on the USB cable because we've got the red and the black or the red and the white wires, which tell us which is positive and negative. To find out the positive and negative of my cable, I'm going to test the wires. To do that, carefully cut the black insulation around the wires without cutting the wires themselves and pull the black plastic off. Once the wires are exposed, plug the plug in and hold the wires to the positive and negative to see if the fan turns on. And if it does, yay. If it doesn't, you need to turn it around and it probably will work this way. This is safe to do because the plug gives off a very small voltage, but you really don't want to do this with other plugs. So it would be best to do this check with an adult around. Once you have the wires the right way around, twist them to the wires of the fan or whatever you're wanting to power, and there you have a hacked power cable. And here's some extra advice for free. If you have insulation tape, sticky tape, or even heat shrink insulation, then you can use that to put it around the exposed wires. This will keep them from short-circuiting or coming undone. See you around and stay curious.